For all of you who don't know me, my name is Fran Lambert, and I am the board chair of the Perlman Music Program. And a lot of you have, thank you, that was my husband. And for those of you who don't know, I have been told I'm a piece of work. So you're just going to have to deal with the piece of work for right now, okay? A lot of people have asked, why are you here tonight? So one of the things that I need to tell you is that the Perlman Music Program started 11 years ago just as a venue for 35 to 40 wonderful international musicians to come here with Itzhak Perlman every winter to work and learn and play free to the public. About 5 or 6 years ago, we started an education outreach program, and we go into the schools. And for 3 weeks of the year, we have the alumni of the Perlman Music Program going into the schools. And what they do is for the littles, for the kids who are like 5 in the 5th and 6th grade, what they do is they show them what an instrument looks like, what classical music sounds like. And what you need to know, if you don't know, is that music enhances learning. It enhances mathematics, science, and critical thinking. So if you ever thought about an art form that is going to help a child, it is music. However, I'm going to put a little addendum to that. So does every art form. So the art that you are here tonight to see and to find out about is also critical for the learning. When these professionals go into the middle schools and the high schools, what they do is they hold master classes, they teach the children how to do things better, and then they also put on performances in the auditorium. So we have a great program for the schools. Last year, we started something also very interesting, and that was a program called Super Strings. And what Super Strings does is it introduces children to playing with the great artists of the world. And so we have 35 students from this community and the surrounding area coming and playing on January 2nd this year with Itzhak Perlman and the Perlman Music Program Suncoast. So in order to put on all these programs, we need to raise money. And that's why you're here tonight. Now, where are you? No, you're not going to be asked to buy anything tonight. You're only here to see. And where are you? You are in the home of Ellen and John Kavanaugh. And I want to thank them. I don't know where they are. They're not standing right around here. Where are you? Ellen made all of the food. And Ilana Jones, who is one of our board members, made all of the desserts. And the reason why there is so much music in this house, the company that they own in town is called Super Strings. And and super sensitive strings. And they make the strings for many, many musical instruments, not just violins, violas, and bass. They also make them for guitars and any other instrument that I don't know about. And they have this wonderful company, and they're here, and their son Jim and his wife is here tonight as well. So in your going around, if you happen to see anybody with the name Kavanaugh, you can talk to them about the business and what they do. We have a couple of wonderful sponsors for this particular program. One of them is Gulf Coast Community Foundation, and are represented tonight by Scott Anderson, and the media sponsor is the Herald Tribune. And one of the things you're going to hear about later is what the Herald Tribune is going to do for us. Did any of you see this wonderful book? If you've been inside. The photography that was done for this book was done by Maria Lyle, and she is here. Maria. And our art and design work is done by a woman by the name of Sheila Sons. She is also here. Thank you, Sheila. They are both here, and I will tell you that they are wonderful people, and if you are in any kind of business and you need any of these kinds of services, please don't hesitate to talk to them. We have a couple of guests tonight. There was one, and I haven't seen. Is the student here? Yes. Oh, okay. Summer Altier. Oh, okay. Come here. All right. They need to see who you are. Summer is a violinist, and this is her second year in the Super Strings program. She is also a student in one of the schools that our education program has been to visit. So after I get through talking, you can walk around and you can introduce yourselves to Summer, and she'll be more than happy to tell you exactly what this program means to her. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right. And in addition to Summer, we have as our guest Ken Bauermeister. Ken is the conductor of the Venice Symphony Orchestra. However, he is the teacher and the conductor for these children who are going to be playing for Super Strings. And I want to thank you again. He has donated space at the Venice Symphony Orchestra for this program to have their rehearsals and for all of the goings-on, and you're just running it, and I thank you. And I also thank you for getting everybody to gather around. Now, this program could not have been put together without a wonderful committee. It all started last spring, when a group of volunteers gathered together for a thank you for doing everything that they do to make this program work. And one of the volunteers said, why don't we do something interesting to help raise money? Why don't we get some violins that can be designed, and we can put this together as a program. Now, I'm not going to tell you about that because Linda is in a few minutes, but I am going to thank that committee. And they are Linda Driggs and her co-chair, Delynn Brew, Alana Jones, Ted and Elaine Gast, Debbie Haspel, and Kathy Horowitz. Thank you, ladies. You have no idea, and gentlemen, you have no idea how excited everybody is. And none of this, of course, could be done without our wonderful staff, Elizabeth Power, our executive director, Margaret Ann Barron's development, and Crystal Harvey, our newest employee. At this point, I would like to ask Scott Anderson to come up and just say a quick words about Gulf Coast Community Foundation and this program.
Nothing about Gulf Coast Community Foundation. This is all about the Perlman Music Program. Yes, I'm from Gulf Coast Community Foundation, but I am also a founding board member of the Perlman Music Program. So When Fran brought me this program and showed me what Art of the Violin was, I thought it was probably one of the single most exciting programs that an arts group in Sarasota is doing. It's so creative, and you take a look in that room and you see those violins, and it's amazing. I had no concept that it would be this phenomenal, so congratulations all. It's just a pleasure to be a sponsor, and thank you, everybody.
And at this time, I'm going to introduce you to the co-chair, Linda Driggs, who is going to actually tell you what it is you're seeing and who did it and why. Linda.
Good evening, everyone. Well, first of all, I'm just thrilled that we had such a great turnout and that everyone is here. I'm a trustee, of course, of the Perlman Music Program here in Suncoast, and this has just been one of the most amazing projects for me to work on. The Art of the Violin was really formed for my love of the arts and also to help the music here in Sarasota. Each of the artists were given the same exact instrument, and when I saw them all come back, it's amazing, the creation that they all did. So I just want to take a moment to recognize the people that are here tonight. Not all the artists were able to come, but I'm hoping before the evening's out that you have a chance to speak with them a little bit about their violin and what form of art, what their expression was all about. So again, I want to thank you all for coming, and we're going to look forward to seeing you all on our big night on February the 19th. So just in no random order, Brandon Koodle, yeah, Karen Davenport, there's Karen, Larry Thorgard, where's Larry? Larry, okay, there's Larry. Gay Germain is here. James Griffin. Tim Yeager and his wife Cassia Kite. Where's my adorable Jill Kashner? Where are you, Jill? There's Jill right there. Raven, Sky Madonna right here. The talented Joseph Melisson. Where's Joe? Joseph right there. There's Joseph right there. Toby Norton right here. And Amy Weber. And also tonight, her husband could not make it, but this is Marina, and her husband is the wonderful, talented artist Valdi.
Vladislav Felicev.
That's it. I knew I would butcher it. But thank you, everyone, and this is just so exciting, and we look forward to seeing all the violins are going to be on display at various galleries starting next week. So we're going to look forward to announcing all those galleries here. Thanks.
Now, I assume you all know that these are all local artists. So please enjoy the evening. Find the artists and talk to them. There's a bar for anything you want to drink. There's lots of food, beautiful desserts, and the magnificent violins, and enjoy the rest of the evening. We hope that you will see the violins when they're displayed, and when you get your invitation for February the 19th, please be sure to RSVP. Yes, you are coming, because it is going to be a bidding frenzy. I think that what people need to know is that music increases the intellectual ability of a child. And when a child is involved in music, it helps them learn math and science and critical thinking. So the first thing I would want the community to know is that we are helping with this, and that's part of the education. And the other is that there is this magnificent music that we bring to the tent for 2 weeks every winter They come and starts around December 18th and goes through January 3rd. And Mr. Perlman is on the podium conducting this orchestra. They can come and they can hear magnificent rehearsals. This is free and open to the public. The problem with all of this is that we do need donations, and we hope that anything that we do that is a fundraiser in this community is supported by the community, because we do need to be able to raise the tent and to have the chairs placed there and to take care of the faculty and the children while they're here. They donate their time and their effort, and so do the other faculty members. We don't pay anybody to come here. We only house them while they're here. We house them and we feed them, and we provide the tent for the public.
Well, I really feel that it's important to give back to the community, and through the PMP Suncoast, we're able to provide a lot of music for kids in school and also provide a great music venue for our local residents. Well, I was very much involved. I've had, I think, the pleasure of working with all the artists, 20 of them each. I actually feel like I'm the fairy godmother, and it's just been a pleasure to give each artist the same violin, but let them have total creative license and come up with what they feel is a great interpretation of art and music. When I first met the artists, I got to tell them a little bit about the Perlman Music Suncoast here, but also tell them what the ultimate goal is, and that is to raise money to help support our local programs, and one of which, of course, is education outreach, which we want to keep the music in all the local schools. So it really enriches not only the artists that's been selected, but also the many musical artists that we hope to touch.
The name Adagio Appassionato is derived from a piece of music that, the minute I saw the violin, it came to mind. It's by Max Bruch, and it's, in my opinion, it's one of the most beautiful pieces for violin ever written. You know, really, really nice, very emotional piece. So in the painting, I decided I had a lot of trouble with it, and then I thought of a woman, and she's so full of passion that she's even making the waves churn around her. You know, it's like the two things went together: the water and the passion that she's feeling for the beauty of the music. One of the reasons it was hard was because in my earlier a lifetime ago, I used to be a violinist or a fiddler, and I found it hard to start to paint over a violin. You know, it's like it's sort of a precious object in its own right. But I just bit the bullet and did it, and and once I got into it, then but all the time I was thinking about the beauty of the instrument. You know, it's really the same form that Antonio Stradivari did back in the 1600s, 1700s, and so it was. Once I overcame the initial putting paint on the thing, then the rest of it came. Yeah.
It's about heavenly music is the way I planned it. When I was asked to do this, I was really excited that I would be able to be part of this event and it just happened, it came at a right time that I could volunteer a lot of hours into doing this, and actually I had a really good time doing it. I came up with my design one day. I was just sitting there, I was thinking, what am I going to do? I had a million ideas because I'm very creative, and if anybody challenges me creatively, I go off, and it was hard narrowing myself down. I came up with one drawing and I went from that. And I just started the painting, and then I started sculpting. All of it's done with porcelain, white clay body mixed pieces that I had hand sculpted, and I even have little extras at home because I made too many. I had never heard of it, and I'm like, oh wow. I thought that was a really good idea. It was something that isn't done all the time, and that's what was enhancing to me. I was like, wow, I would like to do that. I like the challenge. I love creative challenges and being able to be expressive, and my artwork is really for others to enjoy, and I never keep anything myself. Everything's for somebody else. I look at it for a while and I'm like, okay, I did that. Now that's for somebody else to enjoy, because that's what an artist is. It's a musician, needs to be enjoyed, and he plays his music for others, because why would you create it and play if you didn't have anybody to listen to you? So that was why the art of the violin really took to me, because that was a way that I could express my art. And I always listen to music. It's always classical or some kind of a very flowing music where there's not lots of words, because I want to be able to be expressive and just flow.
I think it's great because it's a medium no one's really familiar with, for one thing, and then on top of that, it leaves room for everyone to kind of build off of something that's already made. So it's their own take on something that's already created. So I think that's pretty cool. I normally do creatures and caricatures and a lot of character-oriented things. But with this one, I felt compelled to do something a little more familiar to Sarasota, I think. You know, we have the Selby Gardens here, and I just thought it'd be more relatable, I think. And it's kind of unfamiliar for me, too. I don't normally do plants or things like that, but I wanted to try and capture the same kind of essence of a character, you know, that same playfulness and animated feeling through a plant. So I think it worked. I had a lot of fun with it. So.
I was greatly honored. I'm an educator in the community. I teach up at IMG Academy, and I will support anything that supports children and educational outreach at all costs, everything. I love the arts and the music combined, so I was very honored to be a part of this. Well, I knew there was going to be a variety because everybody likes to put a little bit of themselves into their work, of course, and I wanted to really represent the work that I do create, but I knew it was going to be a challenge because normally you're working on a 2D plane and this was a 3D dimensional object. So I was up for the challenge, and I really wanted to go simple with it and use the element of drawing. I did paint a little bit, but I left it more open for the Nebraska landscape to communicate through my work. A lot of the work that I create is communicated from the place that I was born and raised, a little town called Auburn, Nebraska, in the southeast corner of Nebraska. And I really, as much as you try to communicate yourself through your work, it kind of takes over, and I decided to let the Nebraska landscape speak for itself. My father is a farmer. I'm a 5th generation family farm girl, and I decided to use the element of wheat and drawing with graphite on the wood to make the wood look weathered, and really left it kind of simple. So it's very dear to me. I grew up in a very small rural environment, and these kind of programs really, these children will never forget it. And to give them the opportunity to thrive in music and arts, it's beneficial for everyone. So I support completely programs like this to just really harvest the whole entire educational experience for the kids. It's the heart of everything. If a child is working in project-based education, which is also involving music, you're thinking on a higher level. And children these days, they need that. So this is a very, very, very important thing for the community. I am very proud to be a part of this.
Well, this particular piece of mine came as part inspiration from a visit that I had while visiting my grandmother in Kentucky, where I was raised. The rooster is everywhere as an icon across the country, and so while sitting in her kitchen and looking at some of the knickknacks that she had around, I noticed that it was just everywhere. And for me, I saw that as accessible and something that I wanted to incorporate into my work. And so I took the image of the rooster, and about 4 years ago that transpired onto canvases and now onto this violin. So I looked at it as something not only that anybody with art history experience can get, but people can just get it. It's not under the table or over your head, it's just there for us to appreciate. And so also in that, it gave me the ability to explore not only the subject but also the surface within the paint itself.
When I was selected to do this violin project, I was trying to think of a subject matter, and I just thought of owls immediately because I have some that are in my tree in my backyard, and these are always singing and at night, and it just made me think of the violin, and the shape of the owl lends itself to the violin shape. And I decided I wanted it to be an interactive piece, so that's why I put the pegs on the frame, and you can turn the violin on either side, and the mother owl is part of the composition as opposed to being the whole composition. Any way, shape, or form that can support the arts in any area, I'm all for. So I was more than happy to do this, and I love music. I'm not musically talented. I'm talented in a different way, but I love music, and I'm really happy to do it.
As I'm an oil painter, and a couple of my favorite things are mermaids and game fish, and so I went ahead and I really like the way the F-holes on the violin kind of look like seahorses. So I tried to incorporate that with one of my mid-century illustrative kind of all-American gals, and put her on there serenading a couple of seahorses. At first, it was a little hard for me to wrap my mind around because I had never used, a violin as a canvas. But the shape of it really lent itself, I think, to the mermaid, and I just really liked the curves and the nice soft lines, and I just thought it would be a good fit. But it was an experience. I look forward to doing it again. I hope I'm asked to participate again. Well, I was really pleased to know that there's such a nice draw with this, pulling in the artists that are helping support other artists and musicians, and it's nice to see that kind of reciprocity between mediums and platforms and art, and it's just kind of a big love fest. So it's really nice.